be taking us on topic filter and context transition. This section is actually being sponsored by Enterprise DNA and is being powered by your BizEdge Power BI community. So let me just give a brief description about Enterprise DNA. So Enterprise DNA is also a Power BI and analytic company. Their main focus is basically empowering the most valuable Power BI user to expand the analytic thinking and insight generation possibilities. They have different courses online which you can become a member of. So every enterprise then also come every month with different analytic competition, dashboard competition, and other competition process. They also have new courses, upcoming courses such as Power BI, Python in Power BI, and others. So for your BizEdge is a registered Microsoft Excel consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, data analyst, and enterprise solution firm in Nigeria. We specialize in helping companies and high-value professionals be on top of their business and data skill. So for our upcoming training, our next upcoming training is on the 1st to 4th of November, which is financial modeling and financial planning training, followed by 12th to 13th of November, which is in-depth Excel training, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. And also on the 12th to 13th of November, which is next month also, we have big data analysis, Power Query, Power Pivot, and VBA in Excel. So I'll give a brief description about our special guest by the name Sanjay Chandra. Sanjay Chandra is a business intelligence analyst at the CPCOE Digital Lab at Hitachi Energy. He has a background in electronics engineering and also an MBA by qualification. His main focus is Microsoft Office and Microsoft Power Platform, which are Power BI and other Power Apps. He has over 4.5 years work experience in corporate finance, business intelligence, analytic, and general management. So without no further ado, I'll be handing over the section to Sanjay. So Sanjay, I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Yes. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon and good evening, everyone.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. You can hear it clear.
Fine. Hello, everyone. I'm Sanjay Chandra. So today I'll be talking mainly about filters and context transition in Power BI. This is one of the topics which many people face challenge. In this session, I'm going to take a very simple example so that even beginners can actually follow along. And once you get through this session, definitely it will help you to clarify certain concepts regarding the filters and context transition. So without further ado, I'll just start my session. I felt that because there are few beginners in the session, I wanted to take a very simple example, and also I want to show you the difference in Excel as well as in Power BI, so that it will be very easy to understand, because most of us started our journey with Excel and most of us use it daily, and showing you the logic on Excel as well as on Power BI can help you to simplify the concepts. Okay, I want this session to be kind of interactive, so you can just answer certain easy questions. Here I have a very simple table. So this is the serial number, and then I have 5 companies and quantity and price. Now let's say I want to calculate sales, right? Total sales basically. So can someone tell me how can I calculate, what logic can I use to calculate total sales? I want to find out total sales. So I have quantity and price of each item, and I want total sales.
You can use the sum product.
Correct. So we can use sum product.
Quantity, price, and then sum.
Yes. So one is sum product. The other one is we'll multiply this like this manually, and then we will add it. Yeah, this is the second approach. Fine. Now this looks like a very simple calculation in Excel. We can use, I mean, because this is a cell by cell reference, we can easily calculate this and we can arrive at this answer. Now let's go back to Power BI. Now the first question which I want to ask you is, here I have a total, right? So if I add all these numbers, I'm able to get 11,500 as total. Now if I add this, here also I'm getting some totals, total quantity 150, total price is 350. Now, for example, if I go to Power BI and if I try to include couple of things, okay. So what I'll do is first I'll enable totals here. And now once I enable totals, as you can see, there is no calculation. That's why it is by default not showing anything. Now let's go back to something where calculation exists. Now I'll go here. Now I'll add couple of measures which I have created and I'll explain to you what exactly is the logic. Now, can you tell me by seeing this, what should be the total of A and what should be the total of C? Column A and column C. So can someone quickly calculate and tell me manually what should be the total for A column and C column?
11,500.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, I'm asking what will be the total for column A and column C. Yeah, someone said 11,500. That's correct. Now, this is what you might assume. So if you add all these, both numbers are same, right? Here also you have 500, 1200. Here also you have the same numbers and both should give you 11,500. Now I'll enable the totals. Now see here. The column A is showing total as 52,500, but column C is showing total as 11,500. Can someone tell me why this is happening? See, you have added manually and you have told me that the total should be 11,500, but actually here it is showing 52,500. So the first thing which I want to tell you is the first rule of DAX which you need to remember is total column does not add values above it. So what does it mean is, generally in Excel, we use this formula and we think that, okay, this total is equal to sum of all these values. But in DAX, remember that the total which you see at the bottom in DAX, so whatever you're seeing here at the bottom, this 52,500 or 11,500, they are not the sum of the above values. So that is the first rule you need to remember. And the second thing which you need to remember is every value is calculated independently. So I'll just prove it to you by the end of this session, like how this happens in the background. So whatever you're seeing is only on the front end. You're just seeing whatever is on your screen and maybe you're little ambiguous. Okay, why is this happening? Now I'll show you the logic behind it. Now if I go to A, right? So A is the calculation which I made here. Now what I'll try to do is I'm trying to zoom this. Now if I try to say sum of quantity into sum of price, right? This is calculation A. So what's happening here is when I say sum of quantity, so what this means, it is saying sum of, it is going to table 1. This is table 1, whatever you're seeing here. So I'll just show you the original table. So this is table 1. So table 1 has 4 columns: serial number, company, quantity, and price. So this is table 1, very simple table. So what's happening in the measure is it is going to table 1 and then summing up the quantity, and once again it is going to sum the table 1 price. But here there is a flaw in the logic. What here it is doing is, in A, it is actually doing like this. It is saying sum of quantity into sum of price. So that's why you are getting 52,500. But actually, if you see, this is the wrong answer, right? We cannot calculate like this. We cannot sum this and then multiply it with this. The right approach is this. You need to multiply this. You need to do some product here. So product this, then you will get 5 values. Then you need to sum up this. So the correct answer is 11,500. But here I have written a formula which says that sum of quantity into sum of price. So this is wrong. Now you might wonder why did I write the wrong formula? It is to demonstrate that the totals which you see at the bottom not necessarily add up to all the values which you see at the top. So that is the first point which I want to tell. Now if you see at the C, so I have shown you the A calculation, A equal to something. Now if I show you C, here you see I have used a different formula called SumX. SumX, I'm referring to table 1, then I'm multiplying quantity into price. Now, what is the difference between these both? I'll just show you in Excel. Now, first thing which I took was sum, right? I have said sum of quantity into sum of price, right? This is what I have taken. The second thing which I have taken was sum x quantity into price. Now, the best way to think about this is, don't think in a traditional Excel way, right? If you want to master DAX, then you need to think in a new way. Now, I'll just show you how to think, like how computer thinks behind in the background. Now, let me take this to PowerPoint so that I can easily draw some arrows, I can do some doodling and all. So I'll just copy this table and I'll just paste it in a blank slate. Okay, I'm pasting this table here. Now, what you need to do is, you need to think like this whenever you're using Power BI. So I'm putting some arrow marks here. Now let's see how Power BI calculates this. Once you understand this, then DAX will be much more simple. Now what DAX does is, let's look at the syntax first. First, let's look at this formula. First, it says sum of quantity. Now in this table, there is no filter. So for example, if you look at this table, there is no filter, right? We didn't apply any filter. For example, if I apply any filter in Excel, you can say I can apply filter like this. I can select A or I can select B, something like that. Now this is an unfiltered table. In an unfiltered table, if you add up all the quantities, it will result in 150, right? But in Power BI, the issue is whenever you are dealing with canvas, a filter gets applied from left to right. So in simplified way, what I want to tell you is, whenever you are dealing with Power BI, automatically filters get applied row wise like this, right? Like this, the filters will get applied each row. So what's happening is, Power BI calculates things like this. It will say 10 into 50 equal to 500. Second one is 20 into 60 is 1200. So like this, it calculates individually. Now when it comes to total, okay, when it comes to total figure, how Power BI calculates is, it will try to take the entire table, then calculate it. So if I have to show you in Excel, what it does is, first it will take this table, right? Put this into a table so that it will be easier for you to understand. So what it does is, first it will filter A, then it will try to so I'll just put this down so that it will be easy. So here first it will calculate A, right? First it will calculate A, then again it will calculate B. Again I'll copy this table, here I'll put it. So here it will calculate B. Like this, it calculates everything. So this is first calculation. This is second calculation. So each row gets calculated like this. So this is first calculation. This is second. This is third. This is fourth. This is fifth. It gets calculated like this. But finally, when you come to the final calculation, it depends on the formula which you are using. In the first case, what's happening? I'll show you. So in the case of sum of quantity into sum of price, what's happening here is, no filters are applied to this table here. So what it is doing, it is simply adding this and again adding this and multiplying both. In case of sum x, what is happening? It is actually considering the filter. Here also there is no filter, but what sum x does is, so there is difference between sum and sum x. When you use sum x, it will go row by row. It will calculate like this. So basically sum x is more like sum product, you can say. It is not exactly sum product, but I'll let you know after 10 minutes, you'll come to know much better things about sum x, like what all you can do. So here what it will do traditionally. It will go like this. It will keep on multiplying and then it will add. So this is how calculation happens in the background. So when you use sum, what happens? It will directly sum everything like this. So quantity into price. But when you use sum x, it goes like this. It will go row by row. But here it will not go row by row. Now in the next example, you will get more clarity on this. So the first thing you need to understand is the total which you see at the bottom does not mean it is the sum of whatever is there at the top. That is the first thing. Now I'll show you one more example. Now see this. If you add all the numbers, what should you get? You should get some other number, right? So here you are adding 52,000 4 times or 5 times. So you should get some 2 lakh value. And here you are adding 11,000, let's say 5 times. So this should be around 2 lakhs and this should be around 11,500. But if I turn on the totals, you just see what it will show. It is showing the same value. Whatever value is there in each and every row, the same value it is showing. So why is this happening? Now let's go back to this thinking. Now let's go back to these calculations. So how it will evaluate row by row? Let's look at this. Now in the first case, what I have done, I have simply used this formula, sum of quantity into sum of price. And the other formula which I used was sum x. Now let us look at the second example. In the second example, what I have done is I have used a function called calculate. Then I have removed these filters, right? So what I'm trying to say is, in each calculation, remove both filters of company as well as serial number. Now let's look at calculation when you remove these filters. Originally what is happening, it is applying filter like this for the first calculation, second calculation, and in the final calculation, no filter anyway. But if you look at the second example, what happens is I'm asking it to remove the filters, right? I'm asking it to remove filters for each calculation. So what's happening? When you go to first calculation, see this. So when you go to first calculation, what happens? I'm asking it to remove all the filters. Like I'm asking, don't consider these filters. So I'm asking not to consider these both filters, right? So in the calculation, I said, do some of them, but remove both of the filters. Remove the filter of company, remove the filter of serial number. Now what's happening? In the first calculation itself, it will try to add both, right? Here I have said sum of quantity into sum of price. I'm not using sum x. And I'm telling it to remove the filters. So what's happening? In first calculation, it will do the same thing. Second calculation, it will do the same thing. Third calculation also, it will do the same thing. Because I asked it to remove the filters. But in the earlier case, what happened? By default, filters are applying here. You know, this filter, this filter. So in the first example, it is calculating like this. First example, it applied filter A. Then in the second example, it applied filter B. But in this case, it is not applying any filters. That's why what's happening? Each calculation is happening. So each calculation is happening in such a way that without filters, it is calculating every value. But now when it comes to total value, in total value also there is no filter. That's why what's happening? Even when it's calculating total value, still it is showing the 11,500 and 52,500. Now just to explain this further, what I'll do is after this I'll take questions. So this is second calculation. So second calculation is also happening in a similar way. Because what we said, we asked it to ignore the filters, right? By default, filters are applying. So second calculation also happens like this. But in the final calculation, anyway, filters are not there because this is a total, right? So we are not applying any filter. So final calculation also, it is showing the same figure. So that's why what's happening? Each and every value, what you are seeing is same. The total is same. Each and individual value is same. But in this case, what's happening? By default, we are not asking it to remove any filters. Here, it is you are saying sum of quantity into sum of price. But in this example, what you are saying, do the sum, but remove both filters. That's why it is going each calculation without any filter. Any questions until this point of time? I hope you understood.
So any questions so far?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is it clear?
If there's no question, you can move on. You can go on, Sanjay.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go to next example. This will make things little interesting. So what I want to know is, now I'll ask you a question and you need to answer this. For example, here I said remove filters, right? I removed all the filters. Whatever filters are there, I removed them for serial number and company. That's why it is showing everything. Now, in this example, what I'll do is I am adding one filter. I am saying that calculate the sum of quantity into sum of price, but my filter is A. So what I'm trying to tell, let's translate this into Excel, right? Let's translate the calculation into Excel. So this is the table, right? Let me copy the formula as well so that it will be easy to understand. Otherwise, I will take a snap of it so that it will make little more sense. Yeah, now let's go back to Excel and think how this table gets interpreted. Now this is the formula I'm saying, right? Now let's look at this. First, let's go to the first calculation. In the first calculation, what's happening? We are saying do the sum of both, but put filter as A. So what I'll say, I want the filter as A, right? Only this one is there. So this is the first calculation. Now in this calculation, what's happening? I'm multiplying both. So 500 is there. Now this is as per calculation part. My table is this. This is my table, original table. Right? Now let's look at condition. So calculation says it is A and my row is also A, right? In calculation condition, it is A. My row is also A. Now if we go to row B, row C, row D, row E. Now, sorry, this should be A, right? This is the condition which I used in the calculation. Now these are different rows, right? Now these both are matching for the first calculation. This is the first calculation, right? I'm talking about this one. I'm talking about this calculation. Now let's go to second calculation. In second calculation, what's happening? In second calculation, what's happening? By default, it is filtering row B, right? So row is B, but my condition says A. So this is false, right? This is false. I mean, there is a mismatch, you can say. Here also there is mismatch, mismatch, mismatch. Here there is a match. Why? So why am I comparing both? So in the table, it will go row by row, right? So here what I'm saying, I'm giving a condition. Okay, do the sum of both, but my condition should be A. My table one of company should be A. So only first row matches that condition. Rest of the rows have a mismatch. So what will happen? There will be a behavioral change. So I'll just show you what happens exactly. So I'll just put this calculation, right? E. Now see what's happening. Everywhere it is showing 500. Why? What happens here is, in this function, what's happening is, it doesn't matter what filter is there, what row is there, what company is there, put everywhere whatever value I get for company A. This is the meaning of this measure. So what I'm telling DAX, calculate the sum of this with condition as A. I don't care what condition is there. I don't care whether it is row A, B, C, D or E. I want all the values to be company A. Company A value is 500. So everywhere it has put 500 here. Now I have changed it a little bit. Now watch both of them. This also I'll take a snapshot and I'll just compare both of them. This is measure number F. Now look at this measure. Both are very similar. So here I'm saying calculate sum of both, but table is A. But here I'm adding a condition called filter condition. Here I'm not using filter. Here I'm using a specific function called filter, and inside filter I'm putting A. So let's look at this. I'm saying calculate sum and directly I'm giving a condition here. But in the second case, I'm saying calculate sum, then I'm saying filter of condition. So in the first case, I'm saying sum and condition directly. But in the second case, I'm saying sum and then inside this filter function, I'm putting condition. Now if I put filter inside the condition and if I give it to DAX, see what's happening. In the first thing, only everywhere you're seeing 500. But once I add filter function here, it is only showing 500 in the first row. So what's happening here? if you directly give a condition here, it will override whatever condition is there. It will override and put 500 value everywhere. But if you add a function called filter, it will only give you value when the filter condition is matching. Only when there is a match between both conditions, you will get a filter. Only in this case, you are getting 500, right? Rest of the cases, it is showing blank here, right? That is the difference. So if I have to repeat, in the first case, I said calculate sum and directly I have given condition. But in the second case, I have done sum and then I have used a function called filter. Inside filter, I have said a. So whenever you are using filter function, it will only give you value when there is a match with the condition. So here it is showing a and your calculation also has a, because here I said in the calculation part, I said my company should be a. But when you directly use a condition without using filter, right here, without using filter, if you give a condition directly, it will override that filter. Directly, it will show 500 everywhere. So the point is, DAX is not as simple as what you can see on online courses or whatever. It has lot of complexity behind it, because DAX is little complex. It will give you a lot of flexibility. Whatever value you want to display on the Power BI canvas, you can make it display. For example, many people think that whoever, even those who are using Power BI for the last 2-3 years also, people think both are same. Whether you use filter function, without using filter function, if you use condition, people think that is same, but that is not the case. Even a slight change in the calculation can drastically change your output. So as you can see here also I have given a, here also I have given a, but still you see the output is very much different. So when it comes to DAX, always remember that you should always think like this. Every calculation happens like this in the background. So first calculation, then second calculation, then final calculation. Only if you think in these terms, you will be able to master DAX. If you think that whatever is there at the top, this will be my total, then DAX can confuse you totally. Here also what I'll do, I'll put total column. See here. Here also you see all 500. Here there are 500s. Still total is 500. Here only one 500 is there. Still total is 500. Right? Generally, what people think, here I have 500 5 times, so this should be 2500, and here it should be 500. But no, whether you have, it depends on the logic which you are using in the background, right? So here in Excel, it's very simple. You do a sum formula and directly you'll get a sum. It's very simple. But in DAX, it's not so easy. So here also it is 500, here also it is 500. So don't get carried away by the fact that whatever you're seeing at the top rows will be the grand total. So this is the first thing you need to remember. Whenever you want to know how DAX is working in the background, always make sure to think individually. So think how calculation is happening in the background. Only then you will be able to master DAX. Otherwise, what happens when someone, let's say you're showing it to some user, some management, and when they look at this table, they may not understand. Okay, why are both totals showing the same? Right? So this example may look very small, but it will totally change your understanding if you are able to do little bit of practice and research on this. Now I'll show you one more thing. Until this point of time, you may or may not, you might not have understood what I said. It would be 50-50. Next example will give you even more clarity, right? So in this case, what I'll do is I'll just show you what exactly I have done. So in this case, what I'm saying, calculate. Here I'm using sum x. Okay, earlier I used sum. So sum x, like I told you, it will go row by row, right? It will use the traditional logic. Now here I'm saying calculate sum x. I'm giving condition. So this is or symbol. I'm saying A or C. Now if I try to add this condition here, now see the total is showing 2600. Now let us see why it is showing 2600 everywhere. First thing is I'm not using filter function here. So because I'm not using filter function, directly I have given condition, it is overriding everywhere. Now let us see behind the scenes why this 2600 is coming. So I'll take this, okay. I'll put it here. Now I'll add a filter. I'll say I have A or C, right? Because this is sum x, what will happen? It will add individually. So it will do some product, right? So that is the logic. So what value you are getting? You are getting, sorry, 1 second.
2600.
I have given a wrong. Some product. I think this is a filtered row, that's why it is not showing. Yeah. Now if you add both of them, how much you will get? This plus this, you will get 2600, right? So what I am giving here, I am saying either my condition should be A or C. So if you add value of A or C, so value of A is 500, you know the sales value. Here it is 2100 for C. And if you add both of them, you are getting 2600. Now with the same logic which I used before, I'll put another calculation which has filter condition, right? One condition, it has no filter. In another condition, I added filter and then I said A or C. Now see the output. If I don't add filter condition, directly it is showing 2600 everywhere. But if I add filter condition, it is showing 500 equal to 500, 2100 equal to 2100. Now if I put total, see this. Here it is showing 2600, 500 plus 2100, it is making sense. But here you see 2600 everywhere. So the only way you can make sense out of this is, in order, you have to think like this in the background. So what's happening? So in the total value also what's happening, the same calculation is being done. That's why in every row 2600 is happening, because if you directly give a condition like this without filter function, it will override everything, right? It will show 2600 everywhere because 500 plus. So here I'll put a comment. Here it says 500 plus 2100. So it overrides everything. But when you use filter function, if you use filter function, what's happening? Only gives value when condition matches, right? That is what filter function does. Here I have given you the example, right? So wherever there is a match, in this case what's happening? A or C I have said. So only two conditions are matching, the first case and the third case. So that's why this behavior it is exhibiting here. Any questions so far until this point of time?
So, any questions so far? For me, I've been enjoying it so far. I don't know. So, any question from the audience? Sanjay, please just continue. It's been amazing so far.
Fine. Okay.
Okay.
So this can be little ambiguous for you. So the best way to get a hang of this is you need to practice. So take a very simple table like this, then you start practicing. Just use 3 to 4 functions. That's it. I'm using sum, sumx, calculate, and filter. That's it. Throughout this session, I'll be using only these 4 or 5 functions. I'll not use beyond that. Now, whoever is beginning with Power BI, make sure that you are very good with fundamentals of DAX. Many people try to learn DAX without learning these fundamentals. And what happens because of that is, as calculations get more and more complicated, DAX will start giving very weird results. This happens very often. So I have seen many people who just take some Power BI courses, they skip the fundamentals of DAX. Then finally, when it comes to big calculations, they'll be like scratching their head. Okay, what's happening exactly? So if you don't want to face that situation, make sure you are experimenting with all these scenarios. Then only you'll be able to understand. Because some of you might feel, okay, why is DAX so confusing? It is confusing only when you miss the fundamentals. If you are able to understand, if you know how to think like a Power BI, like a Power BI engine, or like how, if you learn to think like DAX, then definitely DAX will be much more simple. A lot of times what happens is, whenever you're dealing with these examples, try to mix and match different conditions. For example, here I have given only one condition, which says, as you see, here I have given only one condition A. Then here suddenly I have given two conditions and the behavior has changed. Initially, you might think here also 2600, here also 2600 should be there, right? Because here what's happening, here 500 it is showing. So here also you might think the table should show 2600, 2600, but no, it will not show like that. Here it will show individual values, but in the total it will show 2600, right? So be very, very careful when it comes to learning DAX. And if you are not able to understand, what I would suggest is keep on experimenting. That is the only way you can learn. Without experimenting, any course or any books, they will not help you much. Okay, moving on. Now let us look at one more example. Here what I'll do is I'll just put the values and then I'll ask you to guess. Now let us look at both of them. Here it is showing 52,500. Here also it is showing 52,500. And when I put totals, here also it is showing 52,500 in the total also. Now let us look at the background. What is the meaning behind it? Why it is showing like that? So what I have done here is I am saying Power BI calculate sum of quantity and sum of price. This is not sum x, right? Not sum x. This is sum, individual sum, the wrong calculation. So I'm saying sum of quantity into sum of price, and then I'm asking it to remove the filters, remove both filters, right? So what I'm saying here, calculate sum of these, at the same time remove the filters for company as well as serial number. So what's happening? If these both are not there, there are no filters anywhere. So if I go back here and if I try to explain this in this sense, so what did I say in the calculation? I am asking it to calculate the sum. I removed filters for serial number and company, right? This is what I have done. Now, if I remove both of the filters, like overriding the filters, there are no filters, right? So this is the complete table. So what's happening? Directly it is doing the sum here, and then it is actually giving total value, right? It is giving this one, right? This value it is giving, because it is not intelligent here. If I say sum x, and if I say table 1, then quantity into price, this is the right calculation as we saw earlier. Now see, it will show 11,500 here if I do like this. So this is the right calculation. So you need to understand the difference, where to use sum x and where not to use sum x. Now let us look at the second calculation. This is B, calculation B. This is the second one. Now let's look at A. In the second calculation, once again I'll try to change this. I'll change it to sum x so that it will be easy to understand. Quantity into price. Right? So both are showing 11,500. Now observe this. Here I'm using a command called all. So I'm trying to separate each argument in one line so that it will be easier to understand. See, so I'm saying sum x, which is same. Here I'm saying all. In this argument, it is the same thing. I'm saying sum x, then I'm saying remove filters. So just observe the difference. I'm using remove filters versus all, but both are giving me the same output. Why? When I say all means no filters or remove all filters. That means it will show all the values, or you can say, if you want to simply understand this, you can say show all values. That is what the argument all says. If I say remove filters, it will remove specific filters. So that is the difference between both of these arguments. Both have sum x as common. B and I both have sum x as common. Only the second argument changed. Here I am saying all. Here I am saying removing filters. But it is giving same value, because whether you remove these two filters or whether you say I want all the values, it is going to be the same. In the background, what is happening? If I say remove these filters, there is no filter criteria. Here every value is selected. So if I say sum x, what's happening? Here it is showing some product, right? Sum x means some product. So automatically what it is showing? It is showing 11,500 by default. When I say remove filters, when I say all also, the table remains the same, right? Because I'm saying show all values. When I say all, when I say remove filters, I'm asking it to remove both of these filters. Since filtering is not happening, it is giving me the same value. Now let's go a little bit one step further. Okay, now there is a small problem which I introduced in this example. In my earlier example, all are unique. A, B, C, D, E. 5 values, 5 companies, 5 unique values. But here there is a repetition. A, B, C, D, E, A, B. So A and B are repeating here in this table. Earlier A and B are not repeating, right? So there only 5 values are there, no repetition anywhere. Now let me go back and copy this into Excel, this table. So let us look at the structure of this table, right? So this is the table. So this value is repeating. Company A and company B is repeating. Again, it is repeating here. But serial numbers are unique. So remember this point. Serial numbers are unique, right? So this is more like order ID, you can say. So, but companies are repeating. Now let's go back here. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just show you a simple one, which is very straightforward. Here I am using SumX, right? SumX means some product. SumX I'm saying. So what's happening? It is just multiplying here and giving me all the values. 500, 1200, the same values it is giving here, straightforward. Okay. Now I'll ask you one question. Now you need to answer this. Okay. Now tell me, if I give this, what should be the answer? What answer it should give? I'm saying calculate SumX and all. I mean, don't tell me the exact number. Just tell me what output it might give you. So all means I'm asking show all values. So no filters here, right? Can someone tell me what should be the output? I don't require any number. Just tell me the logic. What should be the output of this? Anyone?
Individual row-wise multiplication.
Fine. Yeah. No, individual row-wise multiplication for SumX. But here I have added one more argument called all.
So it was first row.
Okay, now I'll add and I'll show you. So it will give 20,500. Why? Because I'm saying I want all the values. Right, this value it is bringing at some product. So if I add all these values, it will show 20,500. So here once again I'll show you the calculation. I am saying SumX. When I say SumX, individually it is multiplying 30 into 70, 40 into 80, 50 into 90, everything is happening. But when I say all, what's happening? I am saying remove all the filters. If I say all, or for example, if I say, see, just notice this. Everywhere you are saying 20,500. Now let's look at another calculation. Sorry, not this. Yeah. So look at this calculation. Here I'm saying all. For example, what I'll do is I'll remove this. I'll say remove filters. First is I want to remove the serial number. Then I want to remove the company. Both filters I'm removing it. Now also I'll get the same output. See, output did not change. Whether I use all or whether I use remove filters, both are same. Why? Because when I say all, I'm saying don't put any filters. Give me the total value everywhere. But when I say remove filters, it is happening. The same thing is happening. I'm removing the filters. So here what I'm saying, DAX, don't add any filters to these two columns. That is what I'm telling. That's why you're getting 20,500. Okay. Now tell me, I want to get now I'll tell you my desired output. Now tell me how to write DAX so that it will be a little easy for you to understand. I want the percentage terms. Okay. So I want this divided by this. So I'll just try to paste it as a normal one so that it will be easier for you to also interpret. Right. So here I'll add multiplication. Now I'll add a total here, right? So this is the total. Now my desired output is this. Right? I want to know what is the percentage of this transaction out of total. So what I'm doing, 500 divided by 2,500. 1200 divided by 20,500. So I'm dividing like this. Now I want to create a measure which brings this kind of output. I want to create a measure which creates this kind of output. Can someone tell me the logic how to create a measure to bring that kind of output? I want to know the percentage of total. Can someone tell me the logic how to bring this?
Use a filter and all.
Yeah.
Column
Okay.
has to be
Use the filter
and
Hello?
and all.
sum x divided by the total. So you have to keep the total as another value, and then it would be sum
Use the
x
filter.
divided by the total, or it could be jkl is equal to. So we have to
Fine.
rename another one.
Yeah, fine. See, basically what I need to do, I need to create one variable which calculates these values, 500, 1200, 2100 like this. Then I need to divide it by 20,500 everywhere, right?
Yes.
Now look at this. So what I have done, first I have created a variable, which is the numerator. My numerator is sum x. Sum x, quantity into price. Then in the denominator, I am putting the same value, calculate sum of all, right? Remove filters or all, whatever. Then I am dividing both. Now when I do when I do this and when I add this measure, I am getting my desired output. See, I am getting the same things, percentage. Okay, here it is rounded off. If I remove the rounding off, I'm getting some 2.44. Here also 2.44. So what I have done, I have included both of these calculations in a single measure and divided them. So I'm assigning a variable for both. So for the first one, what I have done, sum x. In the second one, what I have done sum x, and then I'm saying all. Then I'm dividing both, sum x divided by all, and automatically I'm getting all the percentages, right? I hope this made sense. Now here comes the final challenge. Okay, now you need to tell me what logic to use for this final challenge. If you are able to tell this, I hope most of you might have understood like what exactly is happening in the background. So once again, I'm pasting the table. Okay, now tell me, I want this desired output. Now you need to come up with a logic, because we are also running out of time. So this will be the last challenge, right? Now see this. Now I'm sorting this by company so that it will be easy to understand. Okay, this is the desired output which I want. So what's happening is both are company A, right? Here again, both are company B. Here, each of them are unique. So there is only one value. So I want to know what is the percentage of sale with respect to the total company. So for example, 500 and 4,800. So what is 500 out of total company A sales? So if I translate it into English language, it should be like this. What is 4,800 out of total company A sales? Now if you repeat this, here also same. What is 1,200 out of total company B sales? Now if I repeat this, this is 4,200, right? Now if I repeat this for this, I'll say what is 2,100 out of total company sales. I want this in percentage, right? So what I'm doing, I'm saying what is 500 out of total company sales. So 500 divided by 500 plus 4,800. So 500 divided by 500 plus 4,800 equal to 5,300, right? So I'm getting this percent. But now I want to know this answer. So if I add both of them, it should show 100% because both two sales are there for company A. So 9 plus 91 is 100. Here also there is a split. 22 plus 78 is equal to 100. Here because there are only one sale, 100, 100, 100. Now I want this output. Can someone tell me what calculation I need to make to get this output in DAX? I hope you understood the question.
So use a filter on the company.
Yeah, can you tell me? Repeat.
You should use a filter on the company.
So can you repeat again? So I should remove the filter, you're saying?
In denominator, the filter should be in company.
Okay. Not really. Can you give one more try? What should be in the denominator? See, here the numerator is same everywhere, right? 500, 4,800, 1,200, everywhere numerator is same. Only the denominator comes. So you are very close with that, with your logic. So only denominator value has to be dynamic. Denominator cannot be the same everywhere. So tell me.
You add a filter. So that's what I mean. So you add a filter for the denominator. Referencing each company.
Which one?
Like on the denominator, you should have a filter attached to it. Oh,
Okay. Fine. Now I'll show you the answer. Okay. Now see this. Now I'll sort it by, so I'll just show, not this one, should be O. Yeah. Okay. Now see this. To get this output, the same output, right? 90%. So I'll just round it off so that it will match. Right? So this one 9%, 91%, 22%, 78%, 100, 100, 100. Now to get this calculation, this is the logic I used. I removed the filter for serial number, not for the company. And the reason I'll tell you. When you remove, so I'll just show you the logic behind this. Okay. Now see, when I want these values, I want my denominator should be like this: 5,300, 5,300. Here it should be 5,400, 5,400. Here it should be like this, right? Because these two values, if you add, you will get this. Similarly, if you add this, you will get this, like this. Now what I'm doing, I'm dividing both. So this is how I'm able to get these values, right? So in order for this to happen, serial number is unique here, right? So I have to remove these serial numbers, right? I should not consider these filters. So once I don't put any filter, then when I say sum of something, what happens? When I say sum of, let's say sum x of quantity into price. Now forget about serial number. Let's remove this serial number. Now what's happening? Once my serial number filters are removed, only these are getting considered. So that's exactly what I have done. I have removed the serial number filter. Rest of it is same. Sum x is same. Sum x quantity into price, but I removed serial number filter. And because I removed serial number filter, my denominator became dynamic, and it is giving me this value. But in the previous case, what's happening? So in this case, in case of L, I'm including everything. But in case of, so L means what? The total percentage should be 100, right? I'll just put totals, right? If you add all these things, it should come up to 100. But here what I have done, I have removed the serial number filter. So it requires a little bit of thinking. So you can just do rough calculation, go back to Excel, and if you try to think about it, you will be able to arrive at this answer. So the advantage of using filters, having this kind of approaches, you will be very, very flexible in terms of getting any kind of value. When people say that DAX is complex, I 100% agree, it is complex. But because of that complexity, you will be able to display whatever value you want. You can use multiple logics. Throughout this session, if you remember, I used only 5 functions, not more than that, 5 or 6. But still you see how much complex this is to understand. So I have very simple functions: calculate, sum x, remove filters, all, divide. Very simple functions, but you look at the logic, how complex this is. So be very, very careful when it comes to the DAX fundamentals. And once again, I'm telling that if you want to really understand what's going on behind, go back to Excel and try to see what's happening in the background. So whenever I get stuck in any DAX measure, what I'll do is I'll take the table, I'll go back to Excel, then I'll try to apply filters, and then I'll try to do some reverse engineering. That is the only way where I was able to understand and troubleshoot my problems in DAX. So this is about today's session. Now, one last thing which I want to talk about is in calculated columns. So this is table. So in table also you can add calculated columns. Now if I put a calculated column, it says sales, and if I say sum of quantity, I'll simply say sum x. Right? Table 13 into price. Right? You see this. Everywhere it is showing 20,500. But here, when I use sum x, look at calculation n. I use the same thing. I'm using sum x only here also. Sum x, table 13, quantity into price. Here also I'm using the same thing, sum x, quantity into price. But here it is showing 20,500. So a lot of people get confused here. When my calculation is same, it should be same, right? Here also I'm using the same formula, but it is showing 500, 4,800. It is showing like this for calculation n. But here when I use this, everywhere it is showing 20,500. So the reason why it is happening, because in this context, there is no filter. I mean, in this particular calculation, when you use tables, calculated columns, filter context is missing. Here filter context is there. So what do I mean by filter context? Whenever you're dealing with canvas, whatever values you are seeing, they all act like filters, right? So I showed you, right, how calculations happen. This is one filter, this is one filter. But when you use calculated columns, every value is hard coded. Here you will not have those filters. So to force DAX to bring those filters here, you need to use calculate. If I say calculate of sum, now see, it is matching. Here it is saying 500, 1200, 2100, 3200 everywhere. But here you see, I just use sum x, that's it. I didn't use calculate here. I just use sum x. But here, if I simply use sum x, what's happening? It is bringing me the total value. Only when I use calculate, it is bringing me the actual calculation, right? So the reason why this happens, because here I'll write down calculate adds filter context in calculated tables. Filter context is already present in canvas. Canvas means white space where we are putting those tables and all. So calculate function is not required for if there are no conditions, right? So this is the crux of it. Whenever you're using calculate in calculated column, so this is data view, right? Here I'm in data view, here I'm in canvas view, this is report view. In report view, directly you can use sum x, but in data view you have to use calculate to get the same result, because here filters are default applied. Because for example, if I select this, you see this is getting selected like this. So filter context exists, but here it doesn't exist. So if you want to put those filters like row by row, every filter if you want to put, then you need to use calculate. Then only it will work. Otherwise it will not work. So this is a very subtle difference. I mean, I could take a very long session, like I can take 3-4 sessions on this, but this is the basic point. It all comes down to this basic point. If you are able to understand this difference, then DAX is going to be very, very simple to master. Any questions so far until this point of time? I hope you understood.
Wow, Sanjay. It is awesome. So any questions so far? Anyone else? Any question? Okay, so without no question, actually I learned a lot today. I learned a lot. Especially the remove filter. That's a new one. Hello, Sanjay.
Yeah, I'm there. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a new one. Thanks. So
if I may ask,
okay.
yeah, if I may ask, I mean, in the last but one thing, you gave filter for serial number, no? Instead of that, what if, I mean, will the output change if we give filter for company?
Fine. See, when you say filter for company, it will show you the same value. I'll just show you. It will show you the same value as n. I'll show you why. I'll just go back and I'll add this. So that is for L, right? 1 second. Here, right? You're asking. I think it should be n.
Yes, please. You're right.
Here, M. Now see this. It will show the same value as N. See, I'll show you right away. I'll put new measure. I'll say this is Z. It will show the same value as this. See, this N and this should match. Let us see. Sorry. See. M. Sorry, I think sorry, yeah, N and Z should match, right? N. Both should match. Very simple. The reason why it is showing like that, because when you remove company filter, serial number is unique here. You are unable to break this filter. Every row is unique here when you break the company filter. But when you break the serial number filter, I think this is M. Yeah. When you break serial number filter, what will happen? You are actually breaking the serial number filter, but here company value is not unique. Here you are having repetition. But in the second case, what's happening? All values are unique. See, here I'll show the difference. See, both are there, right? So this is what now if I remove serial number, so I'll put both tables. If I remove serial number, this is not unique. You have repetition. This column is not unique. You have repetition. But here, if you remove company, serial number is unique column. Because this is unique, what's happening? You will see all the values individually. Separately, you will see all the values because these are unique. But here that uniqueness is gone. So if you add filter for both of these values, filter is A. For both of this, filter is B. But here you see serial number 1, 2, 3, it is unique. So that's why what happens by default, N and Z both will display same value.
What do you
I
use
hope you
if
understood.
it's a company?
Yeah, thank you. For L also, I believe, yeah, this I understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Even for L, I believe you have used remove filters for serial number, right?
I used all.
Okay, fine.
See, either you can remove filters for serial number as well as for the company name, or you can use all. Both are same.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Sanjay, when
Yeah.
we remove the filter for serial number, does the company filter is applying there?
For company filter is applying. Yes. See,
Okay,
that's why
that's
you
why
see.
it's giving 53,000.
See, you are saying company filter is removing, right? So which measure we are referring to? We are referring to M. You are removing filter. Sorry, you are saying which filter? Company filter, right? You want to remove or serial number?
Serial number, yes.
Right. Serial number. When you remove serial number, what's happening? Okay, let's go to the back end. When you are removing serial number, what's happening? Serial number, I'm putting it out of picture because serial number is missing, no filter. Now if I say company A, what's happening? This should be added, right? All 4 values, like some product, right? Otherwise, in a simple way, sum X means this one only, right? You should show 5,300, right? So it is showing
Okay.
5,300.
It is applying company filter and giving the result.
Yes, when you remove the filter for serial number. So both it is showing 5,300, 5,300. And for B also the same logic.
So what if you use media filter? Use the filter instead of using the remove filter. If
But
it's a filter
but on the other hand,
No.
if you remove the company filter, 1 second, which one? But on the other hand, if you remove the company filter, nothing will change because serial numbers are still unique. Yeah, someone is saying something.
If I
it's obviously a company filter. Like I understand the logic. Well, if you use filter equals company, like you specify the company, would that also work?
So you want me to explain that company thing again?
No. If you use a filter,
it's
like
asking if you use it equals
if you
to
use a
one of
filter,
those companies.
without okay, but you have to create a measure individually.
No. No, I couldn't get you. Hello.
Okay, so
Okay,
if you
what is
use, so it's obviously the remove filter. If you use the filter, would also work. Use a filter without also give you the same result you're looking for.
Can you, if you don't mind, can you put it on chat box? For some reason, I'm unable to get what
Yeah,
you're
so
saying.
instead of using the no filter, use the filter without also give you this almost the same result.
Yeah, it is same result. Yes. If you remove for the company, it will show you the same result because serial number is unique. That's what you're asking, right?
okay? What I felt it was saying. You were saying something like if you make it equals to like A, the filter equals to B or something like that, right?
So
Fine.
you are saying the condition.
Yes, but
Well,
nah,
you have to
I
do it
think that one,
multiple times.
I mean, you have to do multiple times
Okay,
for
you
it
are
to be
saying if
defined. But
condition is A or B.
yeah, if you use a filter equals to A, filter equals to B. But yes, I understand. Now, like it's mentioned, that will mean you have to do it for multiple companies. So it's obviously the
Okay,
remove filter.
you want me to give
Specify
two conditions,
filter.
right?
No, I was just asking if it's obviously the remove filter, if you use the filter, like by specifying the companies, would that also give you the same result?
Okay, you are asking me to give a filter condition directly without filter command.
Yeah, it's not with filter, yes.
So if you do that, it will override.
Okay.
So if you give direct filter condition, what happens? It will override, right? So if I just copy this, that's what you meant, right? Without filter, direct condition.
That condition.
So if I say y equal to this one, and then if I say company, so company equal to A or company equal to this one, right? You are saying?
That give you something
One
similar.
second. Yeah, it will. Yeah, tell me. Hello.
I think we should move.
So my mic was
Yeah.
on mute, sir.
Okay.
So let's just move forward. So thank you, Sanjay. So the next question is, I'll ask you two in one now. Can you just tell us how you start your data analysis journey and what advice you have for younger ones starting in the career of data analysis?
Fine. See, when it comes to analytics, I am kind of new, you can say. I just started my analytics journey last March. So during the pandemic, when the lockdown was announced in India, March 2020. So I started my analytics journey with Excel, and starting with Excel has given me huge advantage when it comes to learning DAX or mastering a lot of concepts on Power BI. And the main reason for me to come into analytics is I found it very interesting because when it comes to analytics is not related to any field, particular field. You can apply analytics in finance, operations, marketing, supply chain, everywhere. So when I started my journey, the biggest challenge which I faced was I lacked guidance. Like I did not know what to learn, which tools to learn. Then fortunately, I met one person who told me to learn Power BI and Excel together. And from there, I started my journey and I started to create a lot of projects. So I was studying in college. Previous to college, I have 4 years of work experience. So while studying in college last year, I tried to create a lot of projects. I tried to do internship, and I tried to create my own portfolio website. So through that website, I was able to showcase my work to a lot of people. So I have built a lot of projects. So I purchased my own domain sanjaychandra.com and put all my products here. So I have made a lot of Power BI dashboards. For example, this is one of the dashboard which I made, which I got a lot of appreciation. So these kinds of things gave me a lot of practice on Power BI. It gave me a lot of hands-on experience. And one more thing is the main point related to analytics is even front end is important. For example, most of us focus on calculations. We focus on trying to get insights and everything. But whenever you go to any analytics competition or if you go to real life, lot of people don't know how much work has got in the back end. So I focused a lot on design aspect. So whenever I make any dashboards, I got a lot of appreciation with respect to the design. So for example, you see many people like this design. And similarly, I recently made some few dashboards which had very good design so that people will understand, okay, how much work was put behind it. So this is a dashboard which I made for Big Bang Theory. So the point which I'm trying to tell you is calculations are important, and even the design part is important. Your presentation is important. Even when I went to a couple of analytics competitions, the winners had two things. They are both good with design, they are good with calculation, and they are also good with logical thinking. One of the things which I observe is people put a lot of effort to create calculations, to create dashboards, but the most important thing is your presentation also should be important. That is the biggest lesson which I learned during the last 1 year. And once I was able to come up with good designs, and once I'm able to come up with good colors and all these things, even in LinkedIn also a lot of people saw my posts and they reached out to me and they gave me a lot of opportunities, like live projects, internships, freelancing projects, etc. So one thing which I want to tell you, like whoever is in analytics, if you want to get into social media, if you want to get new opportunities, definitely focus on your presentation skills, because at the end of the day, if your presentation skills are good, if your post is very, very well articulated, definitely people will reach out to you. Today the biggest challenge is, even I faced this challenge when pandemic was going on. I couldn't find a job, I couldn't find any internship. I had 1 year left for college. So at that time, the only thing which helped me was learning courses, trying to understand the concepts, building projects, and sharing them on LinkedIn. So that has actually given me job in Hitachi also. Right now I'm working with Hitachi Energy, and that opportunity I came through LinkedIn as well. So if you're someone who is looking at reaching out to recruiters, or if you're someone who wants to get into analytics from different domain, once you create your own portfolio with all the projects, your work will speak for yourself. For example, recently I met someone who said that, Sanjay, I don't have any analytics degree. Can I get into analytics? So just for your information, even when I was studying in college, when I'm doing MBA, my MBA is in general management and finance. So I also don't have any analytics degree, any master's degree or bachelor's degree. But still people considered me because they saw my work. In conclusion, what I want to say is, there are three lessons which I learned during the last 1 year. First thing is focus on your work, not on credentials. Second thing is focus on design. Your presentation should be very good. And the third thing is you need to practice regularly, because analytics is a field where new tools keep on coming. Right now I'm focusing a lot. I mean, until now I focused on Power BI, and I recently started my Tableau classes. So I'm learning it from someone. So don't stop learning. So once you are in analytics, you are always a student. So this is about my journey, and these are the lessons which I learned during the last 1 year.
Wow, 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 awesome, 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 awesome. So Sanjay, the last section, you remember we told you that we used to have like a winner. We used to, at the end of the session, you're going to ask a question relating to what you took us today. So anybody that can get it to have a membership to Enterprise DN, which are our sponsors of this section. So just any question from what you've taken us today, you can just ask the audience. Anyone that gets it will have a membership to Enterprise DNA.
So like you are asking the audience, so I should ask a question to the audience.
Yeah. So the audience will have to write the answer on the chat box. First person that gets the answer correctly. So you just be checking the chat box. The person that gets the answer correctly.
Okay, fine. I'll ask one question related to this.
Yes, any question relating to this?
Yes. Sorry, I'll open this. Okay. Can someone tell me, if I want to get this output, right? This O output. So what should be my numerator? Just tell the logic. You don't require to write formula. Just the logic. For O, just put it in the chat box. Whoever puts it in the chat box first, they will be rewarded.
Just send the answer to the chat.
Yeah. Someone has.
Okay. Please help us like the correct answer so we won't make
Just like the
any
correct
mistake.
answer. So
I think Bankim has answered the next question. Sum X quantity into price.
okay.
Because I asked about numerator, right? So that is the numerator. Sum X quantity into price.
Send us your name and email at we are typing it in the chat box. Okay, great. My colleague has done that. Congratulations. You're a winner for this week's session. Then we'll get back to you on your gift.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Temidayo, over to you.
So Sanjay, thank you. Really appreciate such an awesome sessions. So I've also dropped the feedback form in the chat box, so you guys can just give us your feedback, any suggestion, whoever you want us to invite next time. You can always give us your feedback. So Sanjay, thank you very much. And Banky, congratulations. Send us your details, your name and your email to webinar@yourbizedge.com. So bye guys, and have a lovely week ahead.
Okay, so bye.
Yeah,
Bye
thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.